with Tim Legler, current ESPN Basketball Analyst and former NBA professional basketball player. Tim, thanks for being here with us today.
My pleasure.
First of all, did you play AAU when you were growing up?
You know, AAU was really just getting started when I was a high school basketball player. They had, instead of AAU, was really you went to all-star camps, and you stay there for a week, and all the schools would come see you play there. But it was just starting to get going, and I look at the opportunities now that these kids have with AAU basketball, and I salivate thinking about if I had been in their shoes, the opportunities that you have to go to these incredible facilities and play against kids from all over the country. I didn't have it. It just was really starting out, so I'm envious of the young guys today.
That kind of leads into my next question I was going to ask you. Do you feel like tournaments such as the Basketball Nationals is important for athletes that want to further their career to either collegiate or professional level?
There is absolutely no question. It's incredible what it does for you, really, because it gives you perspective on what's really out there. You know, you sometimes get caught up in your little cocoon of your neck of the woods where you play, and you're playing local teams, and you're playing with the same kids year after year on the same teams, and then you go to a tournament like this, and we've already played teams from New York, Massachusetts, Virginia, there's teams from Texas, California, Arizona. It's an incredible experience to line up across from a kid that's playing basketball in Ohio right now, and you can see how hard they're working and how big the basketball world is out there, and I think it makes you have to go home and understand how hard you need to work because of how many young men are out there trying to get college scholarships and trying to become great players, and it makes you work harder. So I think that's really what AAU does more than anything.
This tournament is huge for players that are being recruited for colleges. How would you prepare for this type of tournament?
Well, I think number one, first and foremost, you have to make sure that when you come to a tournament like this, there's so many distractions because you're in Disney World. There's a lot to do, and we've been trying to monitor that with our own team of when we're going to go have some fun, but making sure you're down here primarily to play basketball. I have an 8th grade team, but they're 1 year away from having college coaches look at them. And I've got some kids that I think have a chance to go pretty far with the game. So you have to make sure you're here on basketball first, get the fun in when you can, and just make sure that you stay positive because you're going to be playing against kids. Sometimes they're going to be a little bit overwhelming athletically. They're bigger, they're stronger sometimes. You have to stay positive, continue to work hard. Most importantly, your focus has to be on basketball first, and all the other stuff can come after that.
Was it difficult for you to transition as a player to analyst?
You know, it really wasn't, and primarily because when I was playing in Washington for the Wizards, I actually became pretty good friends with Tony Kornheiser, who at the time was a writer for the Washington Post, had a radio show, and he, for some reason, fell in love with me having me on his show, and it gave me a lot of experience being on the radio and being able to think quickly on my feet. George Michael, late great George Michael, who ran the Sports Machine, an NBC show in D.C., had me on a bunch of times. So while I was a player, I was doing a lot of media, and it got me a lot more comfortable in front of the camera. I was a very shy kid growing up, very shy all the way through college. I didn't talk a whole lot with the media, but when I became a pro and dealing with them on a daily basis, became very comfortable with it and thought maybe one day this might be kind of fun to do. And I've been now 12 years at ESPN, so I'm happy with the decision I made.
And finally, what advice would you give to these athletes that are out here this week?
I think more than anything, I think you have to understand what are coaches looking at when they're observing you and evaluating you. And I think what they're looking at more than anything else, are you a good teammate? Do you take coaching well? Do you play hard the whole time? Are you self-motivated in that way? Coaches understand you're going to miss shots and turn the ball over, and you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to get beat on defense. They don't care about those things. What they care about is, are you coachable, and are you a great teammate, and are you the type of kid that plays the same speed all the time, which is all you have. That's what coaches are drawn to, and you stand out if you do that.
Thank you so much, Coach. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Here at ESPN Wide World of Sports for Basketball Nationals.